What's up guys, Lifting here. Today I have 5 interesting builds to show you guys, and you can find a link to each including a guide in the description below. Also a big thanks to you guys over at Patreon who are supporting the channel. I'm terrible at promoting this and I need to get better at it because the support you lend does indeed make a difference. Thank you. Finally, before we get into the video, make sure to join our Path of Exile community on Discord. Yeah, you can also ask the PoE tutors questions on how to proceed if you're stuck in the game or need to have your build reviewed, etc. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. Let's get into it. The first build on the list is an ARAKAALI'S Fang Necromancer by Skyscan. So yeah, we're starting out with something rather interesting here. If we take a look at the ARAKAALI'S Fang weapon, we can see that it has the affix 100% chance to trigger level 1 raise spider on kill. It's these spiders that makes up the concept of the build. To efficiently spawn the max limit of 20 spiders, you're going to be using Desecrate linked with Spell Cascade and then use a charge of your worm flask, the Writhing Jar. Killing one worm will generate 2 spiders per corpse nearby, and with the Desecrate setup you will have enough corpses to reach the maximum amount of spiders in a single kill. With the duration modifiers from the skill tree and the Necromancer ascendancy, the spider's uptime reaches up to 1.5 minutes per summoning, giving you plenty of time to refill the Writhing Jar for your next batch of spider underlings. This build can potentially deal with any content in the game, and Skyscan's forum title even says everything that in 5x or your money back. The most expensive part of this build is the dagger itself, which at the current time in patch 3.5 goes for around an exalted orb. The build has a lot of other interesting but optional uniques you can incorporate, such as the Devouring Diadem helmet, the Command of the Pit gloves, the Solstice Vigil amulet, the Venomous Shroud armor, and a few others you can check out for yourself. Once again, I need to emphasize that these are optional and thus not required for the build to work. Only the dagger is necessary for you to get started. The second build on the list is a crit Ice Spear Totem, Hierophant by Superouman. And oh boy, does this build have some insane DPS potential. In the following clip, you will see the build against a phase 3 Shaper having healed all the way up to 100% health. Watch this.
3, 2, 1, go! Game!
That was roughly a 4-second 100 to 0% HP Shaper kill. Let's watch it again real quick.
3, 2, 1, go! Game!
So yeah, I think the damage potential, at least single target damage, speaks for itself. And don't be fooled by the seemingly low health pool. The build makes up for this by running Mind Over Matter at 200% effectiveness, meaning instead of 30% damage mitigated as Mind Over Matter does by standard, this build mitigates 60%, thus the reason for the large mana pool. And it does that via various uniques, the Hierophant Ascendancy, and, well, I guess the Jewel is a unique too. Now, it goes without saying that in order to reach the amount of damage Superouman displays in his video, it requires quite the investment. However, a more forgiving budget is still bound to give you great single target damage due to the nature of the new and improved Ice Spear. The build features items such as the Indigon helmet, Shimmering Wand, the Troll Timber Spire shield, Cloak of Defiance, and more. Coming up third on the list is a Soulwrest Necromancer by Stag. The Soulwrest staff was introduced in patch 3.4, and it is a very powerful staff that is available for the very small investment of a couple of KS. Any skill that has the capability of consuming a corpse triggers the level 20 Phantasm skill, granting a chance to summon Phantasms to come to your aid. Like the Namahu Flame Axe, none of the support gems in the staff needs to be linked in order to work. Simply having the staff 6-socketed and placing the appropriate support gems in it will work to buff the implicit Phantasm skill that it grants. Stag's build even incorporates the support gem Summon Phantasms on kill into the staff on top of the implicit that's already provided. This may or may not be a bug, but still it works by allowing the maximum amount of Phantasms you can use, raising the maximum cap, as opposed to if you were only using the implicit gem in the staff. Another very useful mechanic of this staff is that anytime a corpse is consumed, you and nearby allies are going to regenerate 5% of your maximum life per second, granting it a nice extra layer of usefulness too. Since Phantasms are considered minions, the build scales its damage via nodes such as minion damage, auras, elemental equilibrium, jewels, and so forth. The fourth build on the list is a Scourge / Lightning Arrow Deadeye by Axovur. The idea here is to use Lightning Arrow for area clear and Scourge Arrow for single target. To get the most out of each skill, the Tempest Bow is used for the Lightning Arrow setup and a Chin Soul Bow for the Scourge Arrow setup. To streamline the process of using two different bows and quivers, going from area clear to single target, the Chin Soul Bow and quiver is placed into the secondary weapon slot, and when you then encounter a boss where you need a bit more single target power, you simply weapon swap with the press of the X button on your keyboard, and in an instant you have your Scourge Arrow setup ready to use. You don't necessarily have to do this, you can just rely on using one bow, but this should be the most optimal way of going about it at least. Besides the Tempest and Chin Soul Bows, the build features unique items such as the Impulse's Broken Heart, the Tombfist Gloves, the Dying Sun Flask, all of which are optional and can thus be ignored or obtained as you go about it. Despite being a bow build, this setup, if done correctly, is actually rather starter friendly, and it can, if executed properly, deal with any content in the game. The fifth and final build on the list is a Consecrated Path Chieftain by Hollyphantom. Consecrated Path is best compared to Flicker Strike. The difference is that you don't need frenzy charges to sustain the attack, the area of effect scales more effectively, you convert 50% of physical damage to fire, upon attacking you leave consecrated ground below you granting you life regen, it cannot be supported by multi-strike, it has less base damage than Flicker Strike but does 20% more damage to targets at close range, and a few other things I don't need to go into right now. In short, however, and from my own personal experience playing with Consecrated Path in the past, although with a different build, it basically feels a bit like Flicker Strike with better AoE and much easier to control, but with less clear speed potential. Most importantly, it is a very capable and fun skill to use. Holly's build is played as the Chieftain to convert the remaining 50% of physical damage to fire, and for the inherent survivability the Ascendancy provides. The build can be played with 3 different weapon variations, dual-wielding foils using the Onigoroshi sword, or traditional two-handed with the Turnus Est sword. Each setup comes with its own ups and downs, which you can read more about in the guide. Besides this, the build also features unique items such as the Loreweave chest, the Ralakish boots, the Tombfist gloves, and the unique flasks Taste of Hate, the Wise Oak, and Etziri's Promise. This is the type of build that doesn't cost that much to get going, but has the potential to become very expensive if you seek to min-max it. And those were the builds I wanted to show you guys today. I hope they serve to inspire. Don't forget to thank the build authors for their work. Remember to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell for more Path of Exile builds. If you are feeling extra generous, you can check out that Patreon link. It is in due part what allows me to continue doing this. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even nerd?